Welcome back to the channel. I'm Nikki, and today we're going to cover the case of Tamra Keepness. She's a little 5-year-old girl that basically fell through the cracks. The adults failed her, and now she's been missing for 16 years. If you like this kind of content, please do me a favor and subscribe and like. And I like for y'all to get into the comments with your theories. In my videos, I like to lay out the story of the missing person and then give you a few theories at the end of the video. Then I want to hear your theories also. I did quite a bit of research on this case over the last few months, and I've seen quite a few videos that use kid gloves with the adults in this case, and I'm not going to do that. If you know my videos, you know that I'm pretty blunt. But the things that I'm going to tell you are all public knowledge, and I'm not assuming anything. This is all public knowledge about these people. So let's go right ahead and dive into the sad case of Tamra Keepness. July 5th of 2004, sweet little 5-year-old Tamra Keepness went missing straight out of her apartment from Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. Hopefully I'm saying that right. She was surrounded by, like I said, dysfunctional people. Her mother, her father, her mother's live-in boyfriend, and a babysitter / family friend that I want you to meet now. I want you to meet all 4 of these people right now in this little video.
The grown-ups in Tamra's life have also been in trouble with the law much of the time. Tamra's babysitter has been convicted of assault, breaking and entering, and forgery. He's behind bars right now, charged with extorting $150 from his mother. Tamra's natural father is serving time for assaulting his latest girlfriend. That charge is on top of his existing record, which includes assaults, breaking and entering, and uttering threats. Tamra's mother has been convicted of shoplifting, vandalism, and communicating for the purpose of prostitution. Tamra's stepfather has several counts of breaking and entering and drunk driving. In addition, earlier this year, he was convicted of assaulting Lorena. He got out of jail just days before Tamra went missing.
So let's talk a little bit about Lorena, Tamra's mom. Lorena grew up in a very highly dysfunctional drug and alcohol-filled home when she was a child. She was abused, witnessed abuse, a very violent childhood. She escaped that childhood when she was around 14 years old by running away, living off the streets. Unfortunately, instead of turning her life around, she basically just perpetuated this cycle and became a drug addict and an alcoholic, and had lots of men in and out of her life, which produced 6 children that she could not take care of due to this extreme addiction. She was known to be a prostitute. She was known to just struggle. She was a struggling alcoholic and drug addict, and just very dysfunctional. But she managed to pop out 6 children. 5 of which have been removed from her care, and then you have Tamra, who has been missing for 16 years. Then you have her live-in boyfriend, Troy, who's also another really piece of shit, alcoholic, drug addict, violent person, freeloader, just appears to be just not a good dude, a wife beater, gets in fights, lawbreaker, all that stuff. Then you have her bio dad, which literally he is not a part of this story. He did live in the neighborhood, so he was still actually involved a lot in Tamra's life, and in Lorena's life, he went in and out. He was still in their circle. Then you have the babysitter, and that's going to be Sheepskin. I'm going to call him Sheepskin, or the babysitter. Sheepskin actually stayed with them off and on. According to Sheepskin, Lorena would actually leave the house for days on end. I get a super sick vibe from Sheepskin. I'll leave links. You can see videos of him. He comes across to me as a predator. Let's just put it that way. He claims that he was left for days on end with these children. I don't believe a whole lot of shit that Sheepskin says, but I do believe that. For some reason, I do believe that Lorena took off for days on end to do whatever. He says she was prostituting, drugging, drinking. This is all come from her mouth that this has happened, and also it's on record, arrest records. So Sheepskin is the freeloader. He drinks, he drugs. He's actually admits to be an alcoholic too. Just not a good dude. But he's left with these children for many days, hours. It's a free in and out. The house has actually got a whole room that is cordoned off as the drug room, the shooting room, where all the needles are, where all the drugs are supposed to be done. And the rest of the house is supposed to be, free, drug free, which that doesn't happen, trust me. So I want to say, look, I'm not judging these people. I've been on drugs. I've been an alcoholic and all that stuff. But the fact that this little girl and 5 other children were drugged through this mess, it's fucking ridiculous. That's a little bit about these people that were surrounded by these children. So let's get to the night of July 5th of 2004, the night that Tamera went missing. This day was a normal, dysfunctional day for this family. In the evening, they were all sitting on the couch, and they were watching TV when a fight breaks out between Lorena and Troy, the boyfriend. And they downplay this fight as in a little lover's quarrel. Okay, all of their interviews, they downplay everything. Everything. They downplay everything. Like, oh, it's just a little fight. Oh, we just got drunk. No, I honestly would multiply anything that they say by 1,000. So at 8:30, there's this fight between her and him. And it's such a bad fight that he gets up and he leaves. And he hauls ass. So and guess what? He runs into his buddy, Sheepskin, down the street. And of course, that's what they go to do. They proceed to go get fucked up at a bar and drinking. Not a whole lot of detail what they're doing, but they were getting fucked up, okay? At one point, he says that he comes back to the house to return milk to the newborn baby that's in the house, okay? So he's out with Sheepskin, running the streets, drinking, bar hopping, whatever he's doing. Getting fucked up, according to him. So around 11 p.m., Lorena gets a wild hair. And she's like, I want to get fucked up. If she wasn't already, which I assume she probably was. So 11 p.m., she gets a wild hair. And she tells the kids, the oldest is 11 years old. She gets everybody settled down to sleep and watch a movie. And let's all be quiet. Mom's got to run down the street to her friend's house. The 11-year-old is left in charge of all these children, including a baby. So the kids are alone for about an hour or hour and a half, supposedly, when Pooh pops up, but Sheepskin, the babysitter. And he's trashed out of his mind, totally fucked up. And so he goes in and apparently just walks in the front door, supposedly. Okay, let me just time out real fast. So apparently there's this big issue of whether doors were locked, doors were unlocked, whatever. Personally, I don't think the doors being locked or unlocked should be an issue. Honestly, I think these people could give 2 shits if the doors were locked. I mean, they could give 2 shits about anything but getting fucked up at that point. Maybe every day. But honestly, I don't believe that locking the doors was high priority on their list. So whether they were locked or they weren't locked, who knows? I mean, I would think maybe the kid would lock it, but that seems to be some kind of contention. But he walks in straight into the front door, supposedly, something like that. Who cares if the doors are locked? He gets in. He gets in fucked up, drunk as fuck, and goes in there and makes him something to eat. He claims, I'm not even sure what it was. Was it spaghetti? I don't know. Really fucked up. He says he gnaws off, passes out. So he's at this house with all these little children, all by himself for hours, as I'm sure he was many fucking times. So he's there for about 2.5 hours, something like that. In the meantime, no Lorena. Supposedly she had called and checked in on the kids at one point, and if they needed anything, okay? But this is the middle of the night. And these kids are still up, okay, whatever. She left at 11 o'clock. How could she be calling them like an hour later, checking on them? Yeah, right, okay. So who showed up about 2:30 in the morning after being gone all night, getting drunk and fucked up, is Dean, the live-in boyfriend. Dean. Oh boy, Dean shows up, and for some unknown reason, him and Sheepskin get in this violent fight. So violent that Sheepskin's nose is broke. He stomps his head in. He's really fucked up. He beats the living shit out of Sheepskin. So much so that here in just a little while, guess what? Sheepskin's got to take his ass to the hospital. So they don't even talk about what this fight was about. That it was just a drunk rage. Keep that in mind though, because wait, hold on. Really? All this is happening on the night where this girl disappears? What? Okay. Give me a minute. We'll go back to that. After this big, huge fight, Dean goes and takes off. He's so fucking angry. He's got to walk to his aunt's, which is miles away. Dean is gone around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. A little bit after that, he's after the fight, he gets so angry. Instead of staying in his house and kicking the babysitter out, he walks off and walks to his aunt's, which he's not seeing until 5:30 later on that evening. We'll get right back to that too. Sheepskin is like, gotta go to the hospital. 3 o'clock. Both of these. So 3 o'clock, Sheepskin's gotta go to the hospital. 3-ish, Dean's gotta go to his aunt's. And guess what else happens around 3 o'clock? Lorena shows up. Oh, wow. So 3 o'clock is this number. To me, 3 o'clock is a major number that you need to think about, right? All of them say it in all their statements and all the videos, 3 o'clock. So what happens at 3 o'clock? Lorena shows up. Nobody's home. Lights off. Oh, she's locked out. The whole house is locked up, and she's got so fucked up, but she still manages to climb through the window. And she says all her children are present. When she gets in there, she proceeds to pass the fuck out on the couch after supposedly seeing all the children. So now we're all in our spots. Dean is walking to his auntie's and doesn't arrive there till 5:30. During his interview, he says he was so fucked up that he stopped on spots down the street and passed out. Then woke up, passed out. Give me a fucking break. But okay, whatever. Then you got Sheepskin. He's at the hospital, and now Lorena's at home. A few hours later, and we're talking a few hours, at 9 a.m., the grandma shows up to pick up some of the children to take them to a summer camp, and she picks them up, gets them all ready. Everybody's getting up and moving around, and they can't seem to rouse Tamera to come to breakfast, to come down, let's go. Realize, okay, she's not in the house. Then they begin to search. Lorena and her family then search the neighborhood, neighbors, parks, all that good stuff. Just the regular can't find your kid thing. So 12:30 p.m. on that day, they finally call her in missing. And then the cops come and they do a huge search for Tamera. They can't find her. And the town gets very rallied up behind these people. And everybody wants to find this little girl. And, to no avail. She's not found, and obviously I'm making this video, and we're 16 years into it, and nothing has been seen. There have been some off-the-wall tips that have came up through the years. You're more than welcome to go and investigate those, but none of these have came true. Some jailhouse informants, some drawings. You feel free to go and check out those rabbit holes. So, okay, let's get into some theories about this. The top running theory is that Tamera was abducted by a stranger. The stranger theory. And I could lean towards that too, actually. There was a Salvation Army and a halfway house and a lot of sex offenders in this neighborhood and just a lot of shady things. And also, this house was known to be a drug house. So, who knows who knew what went on. If you went to that house enough, you would know that it was probably wide open for people to come in, get fucked up, and all that good stuff. So, the stranger theory is very high on a lot of people's theory list or whatever. I definitely would go, absolutely, that could happen. The family has this little theory called the Big Auntie theory, because there's this freeloader transient lady that Lorena apparently took in, and she would come and stay on occasion, and they seem to think maybe Big Auntie is involved, because as soon as Tamera went missing, they've never seen her again. And they actually don't even know her name. So could have Big Auntie had something to do with it, sold her, some sort of thing like that. The third theory is Lorena sold the baby. That Lorena had a drug debt, or that Lorena wanted drugs, or something. Lorena sold her as a sex slave. You know, I wouldn't put it past her. Now, see, you know, she says in these videos, I love my kids, you know, when you have addiction, that kind of deep of addiction, and alcoholism, and dysfunction, it's very hard to focus on loving your children. I just personally know that too, so I'm not, like, dogging on her, and I'm not trying to smash Lorena, even though I really have a strong feeling that she failed this child, okay? And I think she could have done better. A fourth theory is that she ran away and she crawled inside something and disappeared and succumbed to the elements. That's, you know, always an option. You know, maybe she was in a very bad situation. Obviously she was. Maybe she ran away. She wanted out due to maybe the fight was over her, something like that. Okay, my theory is 1, 2, or 3 of these people were involved. I'm not sure whether Lorena is involved. I don't know. I can't, you know. But I would not discount the fact that Sheepskin and the boyfriend, something happened. You know, how about possibly they were both abusing her and actually killed her in an accident, then had dumped the body. Maybe that's where the fight came in. You know, maybe Sheepskin got too rough and killed her, or maybe Sheepskin did it by himself. And then, you know, the boyfriend comes home at night and then says, "Holy shit!" Well, and he doesn't want to be, you know, found guilty, and he doesn't want to. He thinks he's going to be. That really, you know, and also then you could get Lorena in on that too. Like, say she comes home around the same time, like this 3 o'clock thing. You know, like I've always said, is that, you know, criminals, no matter what their bullshit lies are, there always seems to be some truth to their lies. You know what I mean? So the fact that they all have this 3 a.m. thing is like, well, let's see, you know, did something happen at 3 a.m.? Something happened at 3 a.m. That's what's in my head. Personally, that's what I lean towards. That something happened at 3 a.m. and either they all covered it up due to the fear of, okay, first of all, the house, the drug room was full of drugs and needles and it was pitiful, and their lifestyle and stuff like that, and they covered it up. Or the 2 men were involved, some sort of accident happened, some sort of possibly abuse happened, that maybe they choked her out. I mean, I'm just saying, to me, I feel like there's possibly some kind of sexual abuse thread that is weaved through this case, sadly. But I would love to know what y'all think, what your theories are on this case. It is so fucking sad. This poor little baby. I have a lot of sympathy for her, and the town celebrates her life still, which is very sweet. And look, I'm going to leave information. If you have information about this case, I'm going to leave information down below for you. I'm going to leave links, as I always do, to my videos. And if you have anything to add to this case, feel free to add it in the comments. If you think that I've gotten something wrong, please feel free to let me know what you think. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you next time in the next video.